Hello once again everybody, and welcome to another episode of Active Contemplation. On the blue team, I have myself here as the US, and over here is Zalami as the Cartel, and we are facing the red team, which is Mr. Shrimps playing Cartel, and Seldom. Seldom. We're gonna call him Seldom. And he is playing the US as well. So pretty much a team mirror matchup. A US and a Cartel versus a US and a Cartel. Opening I went for here, I went double barracks. The reason I did this is I was going to go aggressively for these two central map banks, even attempting to take the one that is normally on our enemy side. One thing I would like to point out, if you intend to do this strategy yourself, is I would highly recommend dedicating both barracks to filling your first bank, at least on this map, so that you get that little bit of extra income to get you rolling early on. I also went for double cash refineries, double oil refineries. I suppose you're not pumping raw cash out of the earth here. Anyways, the reason I want to share this one is we're going to talk a little bit about how decision making and quick decision making can bring you victory early game. So Mr. Shrimps here, assembling some automatics along with a Scorpio tank, and I believe, yep, this is Alami assembling his own automatics, staying up here on the hill. And the reason to do this, the reason to keep your units up on the hill, for those who don't know, is that switch to this alarm. Actually, no. There's a bug right now that actually messes up with some graphical things. So I was going to switch to his view to show you, but enemy units can't see up the hill, nor can they fire up the hill without spotting enemy units. Whereas your units, if you have them up here on this part of the hill, and there you can see he ripped some super highs out of the sky, but as I was saying, you put units up on the hill like this, and you get several first opportunities to attack your opponent before they can even return fire. So it's always advantageous if you can fight from high ground in this game. I mean, that's how it is in most games. So over here we have Seldkim. He's going pretty aggressive. I didn't realize how aggressive he was being. But I mean, I did manage to take their bank, and I have this bank as well. So I have effectively 3 banks cranking out the cash for me. I believe I have a fully loaded Striker ICV. I was just waiting for a few more Striker MGS to roll out before I was going to go and try and charge Seldkim's base. However, as you can see, this beautiful line of Strikers rolling out right away, I believe he sort of beats me to the punch, as he not only has these bunkers deployed up here, which I believe he is already upgrading with tow missiles, because he did go to DEFCON 2 rather quickly. And even though he should have positioned closer to the edge, he's already in an advantageous position. As you can see, I'm going to come up here single file and get shot at by many things, including he's got a Striker here with javelins loaded into them, kind of like mine. But he had the superior fighting position, so I pulled back right away. And immediately I made the decision, since I am dug in with javelins and I was getting a research bait in order to start getting the javelin range upgrade, I decided pump out some dust offs and that I was going to try and flank his base with javelins, since he was already clearly dedicating all this stuff up here. See, I didn't know what was going on at his base. I had not seen his base. I didn't even know he had Abrams. I didn't even know he was already building up this much. But seeing this here was enough for me to know that he was dedicating a lot of resources to this flank. He had Strikers, he had javelins, and he had the bunkers, so I knew he was investing heavily, and I knew that my javelins, especially once they received the Endless Guidance upgrade, giving them double damage and extra range, that if he did try to attack me, I would be able to hold. I would be able to hold off these particular units. So, loaded up these dust offs with javelins, and they went off on their mission. And over here, while we wait for that, Zalami with his automatics and a whole ton of Amos, the twin-barreled mortar artillery tanks, which are actually kind of my favorites. I like them. They're not super intensely damaging, but they are really awesome to watch because they put a lot of shells downrange. And here we go. Salami's going to start his barrage. Mr. Shrimp's army's over here on the flank. All those shells. Look at that. Love it. Looks even more spectacular when you get the Strix shells upgrade. And over here we have the engagement between Mr. Shrimp's and Salami's armies. Automatics and Scorpios versus Automatics and Scorpios. But I believe Salami has just a few more automatics than Mr. Shrimp's here. And of course this whole time we have the Amos providing their fire, still shelling the base of Mr. Shrimp's. Gonna do away with his barracks and continue to put pressure on him. You can see Salami's army just barely winning out, but Mr. Shrimp's pushing him back a little bit. Kind of a stalemate over here. And all right, we got got the dust-offs. About to deploy the javelins and discover that this gentleman already has a heavy vehicle bay. And I decided to focus the barracks right away because I didn't want him throwing Marines out, because Marines would have been a little bit hard to deal with. So, also by killing the barracks, I prevent him from being able to deploy bunkers. Barracks is a requirement for being able to deploy bunkers, and thankfully he had not deployed any yet at his base, so the rain of javelins once again. Those of you who have watched my videos for a while now should not be strangers to me flanking people's bases with javelins. Lots of good fun. Salami recovering his forces, expanding his economy, bringing some more stuff over. I captured and sold this heavy vehicle bay, and I captured this guy's headquarters. That was the other reason for wanting to take out the barracks, so that he couldn't just deploy Marines right away to retake the area. He could have emptied this bank out of his Marines and come and try to assault me, which probably actually would have been a good idea. He brings a striker back, and he's also brought his striker MGSs back, but instead of coming and fighting my javelins, he's firing at the HQ. We got a javelin duel. Unfortunately, mine are supported by medevacs and his are not. And since I have a barracks at home, I realize that I'm able to do this, and I just start dropping bunkers in order to keep the headquarters safe. Honestly, I wouldn't care, but there you go. Seldkim surrenders. The strikers are now under Mr. Shrimp's hands. These bunkers go up. These strikers get dealt with by the javelins. And now it's just up to Salami to push to space. Now here, I believe this is what Mr. Shrimp's was banking on. He had some Spectres. I doubt they have the stealth upgrade yet. Nope. So they're going to reveal themselves to fire, but those railguns are still going to do a lot of damage. And they are going to probably be the equalizer in this fight. Yep, Salami's losing a lot of automatics. Mr. Shrimp's automatics are still up as well. Salami had the Strix shells that could have done a lot of damage to those vehicles. Unfortunately, he did not. He only has Amos left, and he is forced to pull back. Meanwhile, I have lightnings flying overhead, dealing with the strikers. I now have tow bunkers surrounding the captured HQ. I also have a power plant. And at this point, I was getting ready. I was filling up more medevacs. I was also going to take the medevacs. I already had them loaded over here, and I was going to start flanking Mr. Shrimp's to help out Salami. Salami's got his Super Hinds and brings up some more automatics, and the Super Hinds are what helps take apart the Spectre tanks. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's all Mr. Shrimp's has left. Yep, there's the surrender. So there you go. As you see, I watched as Seldkim deployed a lot of frontline defenses in that one specific spot, and so I took advantage of that and did a flanking maneuver to take advantage of the fact that not all of his forces were occupied on the front line, and I had enough stuff at home to take advantage of the defensive position in case he attacked me. So there you go, I hope you all enjoyed. There's another video for Active Contemplation. My name is Amadeus, and I will see you next time.